Hi there and welcome to Linguaverse. I'm Laura, and in today's lesson I'd like to tell you about the top 5 Latin words and phrases you need to know if you want to sound high level and impress your friends when having conversations in English. Far from being a dead language, Latin is very much alive in our day-to-day conversations. Many words and phrases we commonly use in English originate from Latin. So if you want to take your English to the next level, you definitely have to learn some of them. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell to be notified whenever there is a new lesson ready for you to be watched. Also, you can have a look at our social media where you can find daily content, stories, games, and much more. And now, let's have a look at those top 5 Latin words and phrases you've probably heard many times, but never knew what they meant. So let's change that. Let's start with a very famous word borrowed from Latin, per se. Per se. Per se is a Latin term which literally means by itself or in itself. It's commonly used to emphasize the importance of something as such, by its nature, on its own, without the need of anything else. In a sentence we could say, it wasn't the book per se that was important, but the message it transmitted. It wasn't the book on its own that was so important, but the message it transmitted. Or, coffee is not bad per se, but it is not healthy drinking lots of it. Coffee is not bad by nature, but drinking lots of it is not really healthy. So, per se. Our second one is a very popular Latin phrase, pros and cons. Pros and cons. This is an abbreviation of the Latin phrase pro et contra. We use it to refer to the pros, the good points of something, and the cons, the bad points of something. Also arguments for and against. Let's see it in a sentence. We could say, technology has its pros and cons. Technology has good points, but it has bad points too. Or another example, we weighed up the pros and cons of the project. We considered the positive and the negative points of it before making a decision, probably. So remember, pros and cons. Let's continue now with the word vice versa. Vice versa. Vice versa is a Latin term which literally means in a turned position. In English, it's commonly used to indicate that two things are interchangeable, and the opposite order of them is also okay, that it works both ways. Let's see an example sentence. You can shower and then have breakfast, or vice versa. You can have breakfast first and then shower. It doesn't matter. Another example. You can be broke but happy, and vice versa. You can also have a lot of money and still feel unhappy. So there we go, a very famous Latin term, vice versa. I'm sure you already use our next word taken from Latin, because it's incredibly popular. It is etc. etc. Or its abbreviation, etc. As you know, etc. is used at the end of a list to indicate that further items could be included. Literally from Latin, et means and cetera means the rest, and the rest of whatever we are mentioning. For instance, when traveling, remember to take your passport, your visa, etc. and the rest of things you need when you travel. Or we talked about the contract, the salary, etc. and the rest of things that you usually mention when you discuss working conditions. So remember, etc. And to end up, our last Latin term typically used in finance and business English is per capita, which literally translates as by head. Per capita is used to refer to people taken individually, like for each person in a country. For example, the per capita consumption of sugar is really high, which means that the amount of sugar that each person consumes individually is really high. Or they have the world's largest per capita income. They are the place with the largest income per person in the world. Maybe we should go and live there. So remember, per capita. So we've seen a few of the most widely used Latin words and phrases. Insert them in your everyday English and make a great impression. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe and hit the like button. Don't forget to let me know what you liked, if you have any questions, etc. See you in the next lesson, but in the meantime, take any of these 2 amazing lessons we've prepared for you. Practice this, enjoy it, and share it.